Every word in the ancient Al-Ariba dialect functions as a data point for a lost reality. If we look closely at the vocabulary, we find the physical records of ecosystems that have been extinct for millennia. This linguistic excavation begins with the ancient Arabic language, the primary evidence for a world predating our written histories. Modern speakers associate the word Arab with the arid landscapes of the Middle East, the sand dunes, the heat, and the scarcity of the desert. But in that ancient language, every word has a deep, inherent meaning. The root of the word Arab actually signifies water. During the final stages of the last ice age, the land from the ocean to the Gulf was a lush expanse of verdant valleys. The people of this era looked toward the seventh heaven and named it Aruba. They worshipped it as a celestial reservoir, the primary source of life-giving rain. Early communities gathered around the terrestrial water sources they called Arab. Their survival was anchored to these rivers and oases, and eventually they took the name. This ancient vocabulary recorded more than just the physical environment. It also preserved a specific, forgotten cultural power structure. In ancient Arabic, the testicles are grammatically feminine. The term al-Unthayayn translates directly to the two females. Biologically, these organs are the source of sperm and testosterone. Attributing a feminine identity to the center of male virility presents a stark grammatical contradiction. The ancients understood this biological function clearly. They routinely castrated livestock to alter their behavior, and performed the same procedure on prisoners of war to strip away their masculinity. If they recognized this organ as the biological foundation of maleness, why did they permanently define it as feminine? The answer lies 2,500 years in the past, during the Afro-Asiatic matriarchal era. In this society, mothers managed the tribes and families. Every deity in the pantheon was female, and the sprawling temple complexes were the exclusive domain of priestesses. To enter these temples and serve the goddess, a man had to undergo a total renunciation of his masculinity. This devotion peaked during the annual spring festivals of Ishtar in Iraq and Astarte in Syria. These sanctuaries required total physical surrender. Within these walls, the male form was deemed unworthy of the divine. The spring festivals were driven by sensory overload, rhythms of drums and cymbals that fueled a state of hysterical dancing. Priests would wound themselves with knives in a trance. This frenzy would spread to the young men watching, pushing them toward an act of radical devotion. At the climax of the ritual, believing youths would rush toward ceremonial swords and castrate themselves with their own hands. By excising their maleness, these men became eunuchs. They had finally sacrificed enough to reside within the goddess's temple. Because the organ was physically severed and offered to the deity, it became hers. The language changed to mark this ownership. The word al-Unthayayn is a linguistic scar. It preserves the specific moment when men surrendered their biology to a female cosmos. However, this procedure robs a man of his sexual capacity forever. Literal castration permanently ends his ability to reproduce. Over time, the literal sacrifice evolved into a symbolic one. Circumcision emerged as the pragmatic replacement. This allowed men to offer a physical sacrifice to the goddess without destroying the tribe's future. Priests still shamed their masculinity by shaving their entire bodies, but they remained virile. Our grammar serves as an archaeological record. Deep within these ancient words are ruins of a lush paradise and the sacrifices made when the heavens and earth were fiercely feminine.